Good morning and happy Wednesday. We are working on houseplants or plants in general. Okay, so I had to let my phone charge because I was editing some stuff. This is what I've gotten so far. I trimmed the stem from the cactus and put it in there along with some glass, like marbly rock things. Gems. That's what I'm using. Gems. Um, and then I hot glued it to some of them to help keep this a little stable while I try to figure out what I'm going to do about the like cactus mix. So that's what I have so far. I decided not to paint this plant pot. I do have an idea of what I'm going to do for the cactus substrate, so we will work on that a little later because I'm going to need quite a bit of it. I went ahead and trimmed down the stem for this aloe so that it will fit nicely in here. I have also decided that I don't think I want to do the pattern on this one. I'm just going to paint the bottom of this white and leave this the terracotta color. So that is where we're at. Let me show you how the Monsteros came out. Also with a couple of things I was trying out this morning. So there are our Thai Constellation Monstera leaves. And then I trimmed down a couple of them to give us some little baby leaves. These I might, well, I need to paint them to match this, so that way, you know, they can like go up the moss pole and look all good and everything. This was my first attempt, and the one up here looked okay, but this one down here did not look good. Basically, I just chopped off the rest of the leaf and then like folded it in half and cut a little slit. So I did that for a couple of them. So I gotta go and paint those to match this. Yeah. Been working on a couple things. I wanted to kind of get some stuff done, like that I could show you the process of doing, and then like I know, experiment. So I know how I'm gonna do stuff. So let's see. I went ahead and did this. I put some Oasis foam in the bottom of this little pot and stuck the moss pole in the back. Again, I gotta make the substrate stuff to go on top to make it look like dirt. So yeah, that's where we're at so far this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this, and I may go ahead and paint this one. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna put in this one. I'm hoping, well, not hoping. I got a couple of orders yesterday, so I do need to pack those up and get them dropped to the post office. Okay, so just gonna do it like this. And it's gonna take a couple of coats to cover this nicely. But then this will be the pot for my aloe, my giant aloe. I'm not sure who the plant enthusiast is going to be out of my crew, but it's nice to have options. Also, fair warning, I may be doing Craft Week in parts because my phone has been nagging me about my phone's storage. This is already a kind of long video, so. But you know what? That's good news for you guys because, multiple uploads. More crafting fun. You know what would be really cool? Also, if you like mess up or go out of the line, just use a little water and you can kind of buff it out. I think I might do one of those pots, that have like the little sayings on them. Like for this one, I could do "Say hello to my little friend." I think I'm gonna do that because that sounds cute. No, probably needs to be on a smaller pot. Anyway, okay, so there's this one. This one is done. So that's what it will look like. I think that looks great, honestly. So for my potting mix, I think I'm going to try using this felt. mostly the dark one, maybe with little bits of the slight medium tan. And then for perlite, I thought I could use white craft foam. So all I'm going to do is like snip this into itty bitty pieces and snip this into itty bitty pieces. It kind of mix it all together and we'll see what we come up with. So this is just the 25-cent craft felt from Hobby Lobby. So like I said, we're just going to snip this into into the container here in little tiny pieces. So here's where we're at. I think it looks all right. I might go through and cut up the pieces a little bit more. Hopefully this will turn out the way I am envisioning in my head. Okay, now let's add a little perlite here. Oh, yeah. My plan is to mix this with just some regular craft glue and kind of mix it around and then like spread it over the marbles, or gems, excuse me. Oh my gosh, that's the only part I hate about cutting foam so small is that the static is crazy. But anyway, I'm hoping with the mixing and swirling around of glue that it will give the desired texture. So, yep, I'm going to finish adding my perlite and we'll go from there. So I'm heating up the glue gun because I'm going to glue down this foam here to kind of bulk up the bottom. So that way I don't have to use as much of that. And then I can use it between at least the two plants. So yeah, that is the plan. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. I am so far. So we're going to glue down some foam to kind of fill in that extra space there. Yeah. Hot glue. Mostly because I spent so much time cutting all that up that I want to, I want to not have to use as much as possible, I guess. So now I'm going to take some good old Aleene's, and just, well, clear out the gunk. Let's try that again. Okay, you know what? We're going to do it this way because I'm impatient. All right, that's better. I have this little thing. I think I got it at Dollar Tree, maybe. So I am just going to mix this all around. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, well, that's what it looks like before it dries. I'm going to take a wet paper towel and clean up around the edge there. And that's what we have left. So I'll have to make up another batch of that. So I'll be back once it's dry. Well, probably before then, actually. I'll be back to work on the aloe. Be right back. For the palm tree, I have my container and these gems. I cut out a round of felt that I'm just going to do like so. Maybe. No. Hold, please. We're going to use the Oasis foam. And then I am still going to just glue that in there like so. Because I want to be able to take the palm fronds and just stick it through the felt into the foam. With the gems, I wouldn't be able to do that so well. So, okay, so I have finished painting this pot. I think it turned out pretty cute. Let me show you. So here is the aloe vera. I did some of the gems. I did a piece of felt because you can't really see through the leaves. So that's just what it looks like there. So aloe vera. Now this is still drying, so it still looks a little funky. And I'm probably going to go back over it with some paint. But there is our cactus, which I think turned out really nicely. I'm really happy with this one, for sure. I just put them over here so they'd be out of the way. Okay, for here, because I think this was the last thing I filmed and then I had to go clear off my phone. Always, look at me showing it like you can see. Oasis foam and felt. So I'm going to glue the felt down. And then I'm going to trim these off of the main stem and hopefully poke it into the felt. And then we'll have our big palm plant. I think this is really cool. So it'll be really nice for like outdoors, like by the pool, tropical kind of, you know the vibe. I want to finish the plants that we started yesterday. So the Monstera, the Tri-Constellation Monstera, which I did go ahead and make another moss pole. And then hopefully later tonight we will get to work on building the diorama stuff. And then maybe, if we're lucky, I can at least make the big sky backdrop. So yeah, that's what we got going on right now. I'm going to plug in my glue gun and we're gonna glue some felt down. Yeah, be right back. I did put some gems here in the bottom. Just gonna glue this just so it's a little more stable. All right, and then this guy, my plan is to kind of tuck in, maybe, tuck in and glue around the outside because we want to be able to go through the middle. I went ahead and cut my palm fronds here. So, I'm not sure what the best way to do this will be. Let's try it this way. So we can always put textured stuff on top of this. So there we are, glued down. Okay, so I have some that are singular fronds, and then I have some that are double fronds. So what I'm going to do is the double ones, because they are a little taller, they're going to go in the middle, like so, about like that. So let me see if they'll go through. I don't think they will. Let me grab my X-Acto knife. So here in the middle, hopefully that's enough. It was not. It was not enough. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I believe the hot glue took the finish off of the inside of the pot. Oh well. Alrighty. There. Okay. And now we will add our singular ones like that. I had another idea which I might add to next month's crafting list. So I have a rather large peace lily. Her name is Grandma because she's from my grandmother's funeral. And I mean, she's a big peace lily. Okay, so I have a like a rolly, flat rolly plant stand thing that she's on. So that way I can move her around because she's heavy. And I was thinking, you know, they sell the wooden pallets at Dollar Tree in like the crafty section. Like, not yay big, right? Ish, something like that. I wonder if I could find tiny wheels to put on it and put it on the plant stand. You know, I'm going to add that to the list for next month. Because I'm thinking Craft Week is going to be a regular occurrence. Because I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. So, alright, I got one more, but honestly I think it's looking pretty good. So here is the all the way around. So, what I can do, now that it's in there, is put some hot glue around the base of the fronds. This is going to be covered up anyway once we add our quote-unquote potting soil. But this is just to make sure that they don't pop out of place. Okay, and then I think maybe I'll run some around the edge here. Maybe. Okay. Get back in there. Okay, so this one is ready for some of our potting mixture that we made earlier that I need to make more of. So So we're going to set this to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and assemble our Monstera plant, our Thai constellation one, because that one's ready. I think. Let me see what else we need to do. Okay, done with you. Make a little more room here. So here are the Monstera leaves. I did go ahead and paint the little baby leaves. Those guys. Now I'm trying to decide, are these bendy? Yes, they are bendy. Okay. I'm just kind of placing them right now because I'm not sure how I want things to look quite yet. So we're just getting the feel for it. Because ultimately I'm thinking I'm going to need to make some of these have longer stems so that way they can like climb up the pole. Because these little baby ones are going to need to be a little higher up. Let me do some brainstorming and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and made up a little more potting soil. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue in and add it to our base. And I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add them and that will be it because I don't have any floral wire. I mean, not floral wire, floral tape. But I think overall it'll be fine. And I can always, I'm sure, go and redo it if I want to. So I don't mind that at all, if that's what it comes down to. I wisened up and started using the rotary cutter instead of the scissors to cut all these little itty bitty pieces. But I figured this way would be much easier than placing the leaves and then trying to get this all around the stems. So, because they're a lot smaller. So we're just gonna go with this and see what happens. I might just need to get in here with my fingers. I don't know if I made enough. Ruh-roh. So I have finished covering the top there. So now I'm going to go ahead and just hopefully what are we hung up on? Oh my gosh, I was kind of hoping that this wire would be thin enough. So let's cut it at an angle to give it kind of a pointier, and hopefully that will help us to pierce the felt. There we go. All right. We'll kind of bend it. Give that one a little bit more of a bend. And we'll trim it. That one a little lower. So yeah, there is our new Thai constellation Monstera for 1/3 scale snorkels. So I'm going to take a little break now and go have dinner, and we will be back a little later. I am back in pajamas because comfortability. I had dinner, I watched Castaway, and now I'm ready to get back to work. Yeah, I kind of forgot, like, well, granted, it's probably been like 20, 25 years since I've seen Castaway, and as an adult, some of those scenes hit a whole lot harder. Obviously, like, as a kid, you don't really know what's going on. You just know that, like, dude's on a desert island. But as an adult, there's, like, the whole, you know, the aftermath of being stuck on a desert island for 4.5, 5 years. So it hit me in the feels. Anyway, moving on. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do, because I have two of these. They're the 1/2 inch. Yes. 1/2 inch? Yes, 1/2 inch. Okay. So I'm probably going to cut 1 inch off of here, maybe 1.5 inches. I haven't quite decided. Off of this side and off of this side, because I want to be able to do obviously a back wall and then maybe like a side wall. So if I want to do like a corner picture, I have that option. Part of me almost wants to do this side too. That way I have 3 walls. But I don't know yet. And then once I have those pieces cut, I'm going to glue them around the perimeter of the bottom board. And then I'm going to trim about 1/4 of an inch off of the big piece that's left. And then it's going to go in the middle, is my thought process. And then, because the boards that I have for the backdrops are 1/4 inch, so half of this thickness. Now I don't know that they'll have enough stability to be held up with just these 2 pieces. We can test it and see. If not, then we'll do the dowel rods to help keep them stable. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see. This one seems to be like the flattest, so we'll keep that one for the base. And this one, it's got a little bit of a curve to it, so I'm going to cut this one. So grab a pencil. I need to change my X-Acto blade before I start cutting. Anyway, I've got my hot glue gun heating up so that way I can glue down the pieces. But I'm going to do this first, obviously. So we're going to do 1 inch. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it this way. I'm not sure how far we'll get on this tonight because I usually hit the hay around like 9 o'clock. I'm an early to bed because usually I'm up early in the morning with Matt, who is up at 4:30 in the morning getting ready for work. So I did get my orders to the post office and got those mailed out, and then about halfway through the movie I got another order, so that's awesome. What did I sell today? I think I told a necklace. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, there's that. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do about the corners. because obviously the boards can't crisscross. Let me move this out of the way. Got my tea, and then that's drying. I can peel it off the plastic, because peeling glue is so much fun. Okay. So maybe I'll do the whole length of the long side, right? And then I'll only do like whatever's left of this side. It'll make sense once I do it, I think. Yeah, so. I do have some things coming from Amazon tomorrow. Contact paper and some like sparkly fringe for making some backdrops. So that will be fun. Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to cut, and then we'll meet back here when I'm done. So now we're going to glue this together. Grab another glue stick. Oh my gosh. Okay, it is not going to be the prettiest. However, it will be functional, which is fine by me. Okay, so now I'm going to set this to the side to dry, and I'm going to cut out the side pieces minus 1/4 of an inch off of them. Okay, so this is what it should look like with the little gap here and down there. So now the rest of the other piece, I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off of the 3 sides and then glue it down. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so it's not terrible. This is what it looks like with a board in it. Also, I've got to figure out how to do this. I don't know. This one for sure might need the dowel rods. And then it's not a permanent solution. However, I'm thinking I may end up doing, if I want to do like a wall here and a wall there, I might do like painter's tape or masking tape on the back corners. Just to, you know, keep it from flopping apart. Because let me show you. There is a little bit of gapping right here. And it needs to be square, clearly. But honestly, I think this is a really neat idea. I'm looking forward to making some walls / backdrops to go on it. And then I'll take poster board and cut it to the measurement of this inner square, a rectangle, whatever, and then cover it with like flooring stuff. So I think this is where I'm going to stop for the night. I will go ahead and get this video uploaded Thursday morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.